Hey everybody, welcome showing to northern Saskatchewan where it's cold. It's the first week of June, and tell them what we're doing.
We are fixing to take an adventure to bear camp. The float plane could not take us to camp, so we've got to hop on these four-wheelers and side-by-sides, then on a boat, and then we'll be at camp. Let's do this! Ooh, look at that big old rabbit! Rock the boat, go rock the boat, baby.
All right. Absolutely spectacular. Coming to a country like this really defines it's an adventure.
Oh yeah. Coming into this hunt, I'm very excited. It's actually my 4th black bear hunt, but it's my first time this far up north, and I know bear hunting is a totally different game when you're this far up north. I like hunting with everything, but I especially like hunting with a bow because it's far more intimate. Not necessarily more challenging, but you have to get a lot closer to the animal you're hunting. There's just something therapeutic about pulling that bow back and focusing so hard on making that perfect shot, that perfect group. When you're in nature, it's intimate, but when you're hunting with a bow in nature, it's far more intimate. So with God's country comes God's people. There is a reason that this land is so pretty and so untouched, because the people that are here take care of it, and Mark is one of them. He's an awesome guy. He's different. He's pretty rough, and I have a lot of fun hanging out with him, but he cares. He cares about these bears, and he genuinely cares about this land. He cares about the fish. And it's very refreshing to see an outfitter that cares that much about the land. It's not just about the money. It's about taking care of what God gave us.
My name is Mark Belchamber, owner-operator of Big Spruce Outfitting here in northern Saskatchewan. We're real pleased to have Keith and Maddie Warren here doing a bearfish combo with us. They'll be doing a little bit of bear hunting, a little bit of fishing.
Growing up, I loved being outside. I love hunting. I like fishing.
No, there you go.
Help!
Reel him in.
Help! I can't! I'm so sorry! I can't!
You got one? Oh, Maddie. Oh, my gosh. He's huge. He's huge. Real.
I never really loved it until now, and I came into this, didn't know a whole lot about it. I know how to cast and I know how to reel. My dad's trying to help me, and I'm pretty stubborn and don't want his help, but after a couple of hours and watching him and having him and Mark help me and me being frustrated and competitive, I got pretty good at it.
Not only is the bear hunting up here just world class, but the fishing is as good as it gets too.
Jesus, that's a big one. Look at him.
Trout. This should be a trout too. Oh, Maddie, real. That's a big one. Look how big it is.
That is a nice one there. This, yep. No, this is a northern right here. Literally, these are not stocked by anybody but God. Be prepared to catch hundreds of fish on a trip like this. Literally, I mean, on a day, it's nothing to catch 150 fish per boat. So this is real simple. We're gonna put these in the forward boat, see if we can catch a few more, release them, and we'll have plenty for a short lunch.
All right, let's reel in and we'll get some grub.
That'll work. All right, now we'll show you what we're gonna do with lake trout. Everywhere I go, I know that the Lucas products are gonna keep my firearms working tip-top shape. I don't know about y'all, but one of the things that I absolutely love doing is shooting handguns. Big ones, little ones, all of them. But when you're shooting semi-autos like these, many times you can have them get really dirty, and for me, I like shooting, I don't like cleaning, but you've got to clean them if you want them to work right. So you wind up, there's 2 products that you're going to want. You're going to want the contact cleaner by Lucas Oil Outdoor line, and you're going to want the Lucas CLP. Now both these cans are high pressure, so make sure when you're doing this to use some type of safety glasses to cover up your eyes. You're going to take the upper off your handgun, you're going to take the contact cleaner, and you're going to spray it out real well. What you're going to find is when you spray out with contact cleaner, do it where the muzzle is pointed down, and it's going to take everything out. It's going to strip it right down to the metal, and which is going to leave it dry. You're going to notice that with the contact cleaner it dries like immediately. At that point, you come back in, you dab just a little bit of CLP, and then you're good to go.
So when you catch all these fish, you've got to do something with them. And we release most of them, but we keep some of them and we head up to the shore for what we call shore lunch.
What do you think? Should we keep this one for lunch?
Heck yeah, it's fate.
Okay, it's fate. Then we got another one for lunch. If the success of a hunting trip or fishing trip was measured in inches or with a tape measure, I think it'd be a mistake. I think the success of a good hunting or fishing trip is made with good memories. And when you come on something like this, I mean, you're making some really, really good memories.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really cool to eat every day for lunch what you catch. I think that's awesome.
Yep. It doesn't get any better than this. That's why we call it the joy of the hunt. So the spot that Maddie is sitting at, there's a really nice bear we got on reconics, and he's been hanging out there all day except when you were there yesterday.
Yeah, naturally.
So anyway, we're gonna head back over there, and he very well may be on the bait when we show up. If so, we've got to get ready. And what will you do?
Hopefully stick him.
Hopefully. You gotta get all these clothes off so you can get ready.
Yeah. Every time we go on a bear hunt, we make sure we show up with lots of Reconyx game cameras, and every outfitter we hunt with uses them as well, because that's the only way to track what bears are coming in. We want to make sure that we're taking old, mature bears, and this country is so remote that you have to rely on game cameras. So we set them up at a couple of different baits. We've got to have these metal protective boxes over them because bears are curious and they like to tear stuff up. There's lots of ways to hunt bears, over bait, with dogs, in a tree, on the ground, you name it. I've only ever hunted them over bait in a tree stand. And it turns out that I'm switching things up on this first hunt and I'm sitting on the ground right next to the bears. When I saw this bear on the bait, I was terrified because that's 20 yards away. I'm on the ground. There's no tree that the bear even has to climb if it wants to come eat me. So I was pretty terrified. And then I realized, you know what? I think that's a small bear. He did not like us being there and he ran off. But that's okay because there's plenty of other baits to check and a lot of time. All right, well, day 2 is almost in the books. I saw a bear. It wasn't mature, so I didn't want to sling an arrow at it. We watched it for a little while. The trip is young. We're hunting in such remote country that there's not four-wheeler trails, there's not side-by-sides. You have to get to the baits from a boat, and that's really cool. Every morning you get up, you get all your gear on, and you have to have rain gear, because if you get wet, you'll be miserable for the rest of the day. We're watching a bear right now, fixing to pull up to a bait, and it's on the side of the hill, and he's just sitting there looking at us, basking in the 5 seconds of sun. I'll shoot him. I just don't want to shoot him through crap with an arrow. I'm shaking too. That's so cool. Jesus. I'm standing up trying to get on it. I can't shoot. Right at us. This is unreal. Bear's right up there. We watched him walk up this hill. I saw the arrow hit. I mean, he was 15 yards away. I'm pretty nervous about this. It was unreal.
It's pretty cool. I can almost guarantee you'll never have another experience like that in your life.
All right, so here he is. This is my first northern Saskatchewan black bear, and he's absolutely beautiful. And the story's even better, but I mean, just look how big his head is. It's insane, and just the cool coloration on him in the back of his ears. They've got some blonde on him, and he's got all kinds of scars from fighting you can see on his sides. And it's just so cool to think about all that, and the fact that he was so close.
He was close.
And he'd probably never seen a human before.
No.
No, so
And we
he
were
was
talking
curious.
about it, right? We said you sit for 5 days, but it takes 1 second for it to happen.
Exactly.
All of 10 minutes of him coming in, and it was over.
Yeah, and it was so cool to watch him. I mean, I've never seen a bear that close before, and so it's my first time archery hunting for a bear. And this bow is a prime. And what I have to say about it is I love it, but the let back on it, I held it back for what, like 30 to 45 seconds because he wasn't giving me a good shot, and I wouldn't have been able to do that with any other bow. So I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm so impressed with northern Saskatchewan and with you, Mark. This has been over the top. The whole experience was exhilarating, from fishing in the mornings and having our shore lunch, and it's just been over the top, all of it. So I'd like to thank you.
Thank you.
And
Congratulations.
thank you. If y'all want an experience like this, go ahead and give Mark a call. He'll set you up. He does all kinds of hunts around Saskatchewan. If you're watching us online, make sure and subscribe. Leave a comment about what you think about this video. I'm shaking. I hope y'all are shaking from watching the experience. And if you're not watching online, head to our website, highroadhunting.com, to watch all of our episodes.
You know, bear hunting's not for everybody, I say. And, you know, Maddie, she shot this bear and she got into tears. It was awesome. And I knew at that moment that I had a bear hunter. I mean, she loves it. She loves everything about it, just like her daddy does. Most girls are not like Maddie, where they're gonna stick it out in cold, wet, nasty weather. Those city girls, they need to stay in the city. But the girls that are like Maddie, you ought to try bear hunting, because bear hunting, if you like it as much as Maddie likes it, you're never gonna quit the rest of your life.
You know, I really believe that a lot of things are in our blood, and bear hunting is in the Warrens' blood. My dad loves bear hunting. He's talked about it since I was a little girl, and I'm so glad that now I can come on these trips with him, and I get just as excited as he does. And there's just something about bear hunting. Yeah, the hunt itself is exhilarating, but the country's peaceful. It's so beautiful and so tranquil and untouched by man that it's the perfect combination of doing something that gets your blood running in a hunt and just being in God's country. I love it, and I'm so glad that I get to go on these hunts with my dad, because I don't think there's anything else that the two of us would rather be doing.
Taxidermy work for the High Road Group is provided by Conroe Taxidermy, Conroe, Texas.